Hello, dear students. Welcome to What, Why, How, the daily initiative by IAS Baba, where we take up a current affair or an editorial and we declutter it in less than 10 minutes. The topic that I have chosen for today is regarding the Guillain-Barre syndrome that is right now doing the rounds in Maharashtra. And it's not just the fact that there is a disease spreading, but it is the very nature of this disease that is in news, and why is it spreading. All of these things need to be discussed. So as you can see from the headline, as we speak today, Maharashtra has recorded the first suspected death due to your Guillain-Barre syndrome, and the number of cases in Pune have crossed 100. At this point, you need to know what exactly is this syndrome, how is it spread, why do we have to be scared of it, etc. Now, to start from this, Guillain-Barre is actually an autoimmune neurological disorder. So, what is the meaning of autoimmune? Autoimmune means the kind of diseases where our own immune system starts acting against our own body. Okay, so there are different classes of diseases like this, and the immune system, which is supposed to be protecting our body, when it starts attacking the cells, attacking the certain muscles in our body, this is called as an autoimmune disease. Now, autoimmune neurological means the immune system is attacking some part of our nerves, and this is causing some damage to the nerves in the body, and this is what is leading to this disease called as Guillain-Barre syndrome. Now, what exactly is it attacking? Here, you would see that it's a neurological disorder and it is affecting the peripheral nerves. If you look at this diagram, in our body, there is something called as your central nervous system. The central nervous system has your brain, your spinal cord, etc. And there is a peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system are all the other nerves that are there that connect to our fingers, to connect to our hands. So basically, whenever you have a stimulus, when you go and touch a hot thing or a cold thing, or when you feel things, it is your peripheral nervous system that carries that message. It carries that message all through your central nervous system where it is processed. Then, after the processing, whatever response has to be done is also carried through all this, comes to your peripheral nervous system. So, if your peripheral nervous system is damaged, what happens is you will not be able to react to things, you will not be able to feel pain, heat, cold, etc. And at a worse scenario, what also happens is any muscle in your body, any parts of your body that have to move will not be able to move. It can lead to a paralysis. Okay, so basically, your peripheral nervous system is the part of your body that controls the movement of muscles, temperature, touch, and pain sensations. In your Guillain-Barre syndrome, what is happening is this peripheral nervous system gets affected. It can lead to muscle weakness, it can progress to paralysis, and as we just saw, finally, it can also lead to death. Now, Guillain-Barre syndrome can develop over a few days or over several weeks. People of any age can be affected, but it's most commonly seen in adults and in adult males. Now, coming into the question, what exactly causes Guillain-Barre syndrome? Now, I wanted to keep one thing in mind. See, a lot of the times when you have autoimmune diseases, it's very difficult to understand what would be the cause of it. Okay, because it is something where your body is acting against your own. Your body cells is acting against your own. So most of the time, starting from rheumatis, you have your lupus, any of these diseases, if it's an autoimmune disease, it's very difficult to find the cause of it. Similarly, in the case of Guillain-Barre also, the cause of the disease is not fully understood. But there is a pattern that is observed, that is, Guillain-Barre normally occurs very frequently after a viral or a bacterial infection. Now, when I'm saying viral infection, it is basically your cytomegalovirus, Epstein-Barr virus, or the Zika virus. It's these very rare viral infections. After you have this viral infection, there are chances of getting Guillain-Barre syndrome. Also, if you have been affected by a bacteria called as your Campylobacter jejuni. This is a bacteria. If you've had an infection with this particular bacteria, then also the Guillain-Barré syndrome can occur. Now, this is just a pattern that is observed, but ideally, when you look at it, the Guillain-Barré is an extremely rare condition. The estimated incidence of this disease is maybe 1 or 2 people per 1 lakh population. But it is in this case that the situation in Pune is quite extreme. Why? Because you are already having reported cases of almost 100, cases being reported with this particular disease. Now, that is extremely rare for this kind of an occurrence to happen. And this is the reason why the medical officials are quite concerned with this situation. Now, adding on to it, the cause of it is not fully understood. The occurrence of this disease in India right now is very high. And to add to all of this, the severity of the disease is also now on the rise. For example, normally it could be very mild symptoms that you will not be able to maybe raise a finger or move your hand a little bit. But now what happens is, in a lot of patients who are affected, it's your whatever is your Guillain-Barré syndrome in their body is affecting the chest muscles. That means even activities like respiration is becoming quite difficult. If respiration becomes difficult, it can be quite fatal. Now, just to add to an important point over here, we've been speaking about Guillain-Barré. So, to go into a little bit of detail, I've put this diagram over here. See, what actually happens is when the body gets affected by Guillain-Barré syndrome, you can see this red color part that is there that covers your nerves. So, this is the picture of a neuron. These neurons get interconnected, and that is how your nervous system functions. Now, the neuron is protected by this area called as your myelin sheath. The myelin sheath is what protects that entire neuron's body. Now, in the autoimmune disease, what is happening is your body's immune cells are going and eating off or fighting this myelin sheath. So, when this myelin sheath is getting affected, what happens is this nerve gets unprotected, and that is how it becomes quite susceptible to any kind of diseases, or it can actually lead to the neuron not functioning properly. Now, coming to the last part, if there's any cure or treatment for Guillain-Barré, as of now, there is no known cure for Guillain-Barré syndrome. What treatments are there primarily include plasma exchange and intravenous immunoglobulin therapy. Plasma exchange or plasmapheresis primarily means that whatever is the plasma part in your blood is removed, it's taken out, it's treated. When I'm saying treated, I want you to understand whatever is that immune cells which is there in that blood, they are removed and the blood is rejuvenated with fresh antibodies that are there. Even in your intravenous immunoglobulin therapy, what is also happening is the body is injected with immunoglobulins, which are proteins that the body makes to identify and neutralize pathogens. So by doing so, you can treat Guillain-Barré. A lot of times what also happens is people get treated and then you have a lot of supportive treatments where, to regain the movement of your hand, regain the movement of your legs, etc. But as of now, the situation in India, specifically the situation in Maharashtra, is causing a lot of concern because of the widespread occurrence of Guillain-Barré syndrome. So I hope this entire issue has been decluttered for you. Until we meet again, take care and happy learning.